The Cincinnati Bengals aren't just planning for 2025, they're building something much bigger. And if you're a Bengals fan, this new report will seriously get you excited because right now, the Bengals are ranked number one in a powerful new system that looks at which NFL teams are set up for long term success. But before we break it all down, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single Bengals update. This season is going to be wild, and you'll want to be here for all of it. Let's get into it. This isn't just another round of off-season hype. A new stat called the Long Game Index, or LGI, was just released, and the Bengals are at the very top. So, what is the Long Game Index? It looks at how strong a team is not just for next season, but for the next several years. It includes things like smart salary, cap use, a strong core roster, a stable, high level quarterback, and more. And the Bengals, they've nailed all of it. They've locked in Joe Burrow for the long term. They're keeping Jamar Chase and still working on T. Higgins. And unlike other teams who are stuck because of bad contracts, the Bengals have room to move if needed. They can still make upgrades mid-season without breaking the bank. The LGI also tracks something called cap affordability, which means how well a team manages its money. And once again, the Bengals are killing it. They spend smart, sign smart contracts, and make sure they don't dig themselves into a hole. That's exactly how you build a dynasty. Now let's break down why the Bengals are dominating this ranking and why this isn't just hype. One big reason is something the LGI calls flex, short for future lineup and expectations. Basically, is your team built to win now and later? For the Bengals, the answer is a strong yes. Their roster is full of young talent. That's a big deal. The LGI looks closely at age using these key points: QBs under age 33, non-QBs under 30, running backs under 27. And guess what? Cincinnati hits all three. Joe Burrow is still in his prime, and one of the league's best. Chase and Higgins are both under 30, and already elite. And now they've got Chase Brown and rookie Taj Brooks at running back. Even though Brooks hasn't played yet, his potential is sky high, which only adds to the Bengals' future strength. Another part of the LGI is called AC, the Ascendant Centerpiece Evaluation. It's all about one player, your quarterback, the heart of your franchise. And when you've got Joe Burrow, you're in a great spot. This metric looks at things like accuracy, leadership, and consistency, and Burrow ranks near the very top. In fact, many experts already see him as a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. One line from the report says it all. The Cincinnati Bengals are the number one team in the first ever long game index. They boast the NFL's premier triplets: quarterback, wide receiver, Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. This isn't just a feel-good headline. This is real data that shows the Bengals aren't just contenders right now. They're built to compete for years to come. When you've got Joe Burrow, the expectations are always high, and somehow, he still goes beyond them. Burrow isn't just a good quarterback. According to NFL analyst Chris Trapasso, he's the most accurate deep, mid, and short-range thrower in the league. His release is lightning fast, but even more impressive is how quickly he reads defenses. Before defenders even react, Burrow already knows where the ball is going. And here's the important part. This praise isn't coming from Bengals fans. It's from outside experts. Analysts are ranking the Bengals number one in the NFL based on long-term value, and Burrow is the biggest reason why. But let's be clear, this team isn't just about one superstar quarterback. You've got Jamar Chase, locked in for the future T. Higgins, expected to be next, but behind the big names, there's a wave of young talent quietly rising. Linebacker Logan Wilson continues to lead the defense, tough, smart, and fast. Running back Chase Brown is making noise in training camp, showing off speed, maturity, and confidence. Last season, when injuries hit the backfield, Brown stepped up and didn't just fill in. He shined. Now in 2025, he's being prepared for an even bigger role. These guys aren't just backup names on a roster. They're future stars, possibly even future Pro Bowlers. And together, they're helping build a core that could keep the Bengals in playoff conversations for the next 10 years. Yes, there's been talk about contracts, and yes, fans have every right to want commitment from the front office. But this offseason, the Bengals sent a clear message. They're locking in their core and they're serious about winning. Burrow, done. Chase, secured. Higgins, looking likely. This isn't just a group of players, this is a blueprint, a long term plan to stay at the top. Right now, the Bengals' championship window is wide open, and this time it's not about hoping for a playoff win. That was the old mindset. Now, anything less than a deep playoff run feels like a disappointment. That's how far this team has come, and it all starts with Joe Burrow. He's not just the face of the team, he's the one driving it forward, the one who turned a struggling team into a serious Super Bowl contender. And with a long-term deal in place, Burrow gives the Bengals something every team dreams of: stability, at the most important position in football. That's why the Bengals are number one in the long game index. That's why analysts around the league are finally respecting Cincinnati. And that's why this team can and should win it all. Yes, we're still chasing that first Super Bowl, but now it actually feels possible. With Burrow under center, with Jamar Chase, a true Triple Crown threat, locked in, and with T. Higgins still a key piece, the Bengals have built a top-tier trio that matches up with any team in the league. This isn't just a one-season push. This is the beginning of something much bigger. So, if you're a Bengals fan, don't take this for granted. We're no longer the underdogs. We're no longer the team people ignore. This is the era. This is the window. And the Bengals are built to go all the way. Let's be honest. T. Higgins could be the number one wide receiver on almost any team in the NFL. Unless your name is Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, Higgins is probably taking your WR1 spot. That's how talented he is. And the Bengals? They've got both Higgins and Chase on the same offense, with Joe Burrow throwing them the ball. Even better, they're planning to keep them together long term. That's not just exciting, it's rare. And it's a big reason why the long game index didn't just put the Bengals in the top tier, it ranked them number one. The numbers back up what Bengals fans already believe. This team is loaded with long-term talent. And if they stay on track, the next few years could shape a golden era in Cincinnati football. But, and there's always a but, there's one red flag in the report. It's not about the players. It's not even about coaching. It's about ownership. The LGI ranked the Bengals fifth in something called cash flexibility, a fancy way of saying they manage the salary cap well, but they don't always spend like a team trying to win it all. And this is where things get serious. No one's questioning the Bengals' talent. That part is clear. The real question is, will Mike Brown and the front office finally start spending like a championship team? That's the real tension behind this offseason. The trade drama with Trey Hendrickson, the delay in signing rookies, the long wait for key veteran extensions. Cincinnati has the core, the chemistry, and the quarterback. Now the front office needs to show they're ready to go all in, because with this roster, anything less would be a huge missed opportunity. So here's the bottom line. On paper, the Bengals are built to win, not just in 2025, but for years to come. That number one ranking in the long game index, it's not just a feel-good number. It tells a hard truth. This team has the talent, the unity, and the upside to become one of the NFL's most dangerous squads if they make the most of it. Sure, the last few drafts have been hit or miss, but players like Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, and Chase Brown are showing real promise. And if this younger group starts clicking, watch out. The key now? Defensive growth. That's where the spotlight should be. The offense is already elite. The quarterback is already elite. The weapons, top tier. But if the defense, even just a little, improves from last year's struggles, then this team doesn't just become dangerous. It becomes dominant. And don't forget one of the Bengals' biggest strengths, team chemistry. This locker room is tight, from Burrow to Hendrickson, from Zach Taylor to the rookies. There's a strong, united culture here, and that matters. Not every team has it. And when the pressure's on, that chemistry can be the difference between winning and losing. So, yes, there's still contract drama. Yes, the front office is under pressure. But there's also every reason to be excited. The 2025 season is coming fast. Training camp is right around the corner. And the Bengals aren't just hoping to compete anymore, they expect to win. And based on everything we've seen, they should.